So you are a financial market, I am a financial market. The markets are now, in a way, there is that gap between the markets of the world are getting bridged. Right now, if you look at it, you can transfer the funds from your account. You never realize when you transfer. Of course, that's another scam, that somebody can transfer money without your consent. That's a different matter. But even with your consent, you can transfer the money less than a fraction of a second. Because of SWIFT, money transfers dramatically. So now the seamlessness of a market transaction means that there is, actually speaking, all the markets in a way are somehow connected. Like the banks are definitely connected. Capital markets not to that extent, but also connected. The money markets for sure, because banks are the ones who deal with money markets. The forex market for sure, what is the rate of, we are talking about Indian rupee devalue or the losing value against dollar. So what does it mean? That rupee and dollar have connection with each other. Rupee is appreciating against yen. Incidentally, that's a very interesting phenomena we have recently experienced. Or rupee is appreciating against euro. What does it mean? That means euro is a currency of those who are part of the eurozone. US dollar is currency in the US. Yen is in Japan. But when we talk about my currency's appreciation or depreciation against that currency, that means we are connected with each other. So forex market is also connected. So his view was, in that scenario, why not I offer the best education to my students to ensure that they will be able to become the financial analyst in a way that they will understand the trends and the changes that are happening, and therefore they will be able to score over others. Nowadays we say, and we take pride in saying, that listen, Indians, some of the top 500, Fortune 500 companies, many of the CEOs are Indians. Why they became the CEOs of such large companies? Obviously individual trait, talent. But where did they acquire that discovery of their own strength? Through education. So that education, the quality education, in a different sphere, not necessarily in that sphere that Mr. Yasaswy was operating, allowed them to do that. So his view was that if you can realize this, in fact today, realizing his vision, just imagine, if you allow the education to be imparted in a way that we can not only Fortune 500 companies, maybe, of course, Fortune 500 are classified class, we can really create maybe few million Indians capable of taking global responsibilities in various spheres, not just in corporate sector. That is not the only way one can reach the height. There are many areas in which the global leadership is needed, and Indians can provide that only if you offer education. Financial services is one area he was focusing on. In fact, if you look at it, the financial services are the backbone of all economic activity. You want to do business, you need money. You want capital, you can raise it from primary markets or secondary market, but you must understand the implications of that on your own balance sheet, the debt equity ratio, how much you want to raise, how much equity you want to dilute, so that your valuation is also done in such a way that the one who promoted a company also gets something out of it. As well, the investor who is going to invest in a company is not just going to make a charitable contribution, but he's also expecting some return. So how do you have a trade-off between the investor's interest as well as protecting the rights of those who started a company? So financial services are the backbone of the economic activity of the world, and he was focusing on that. Just imagine at today's times, if we can actually best education in the financial services, we could probably be offering the best possible talent to run the world economy at a time when the world economy is in kind of a crisis. The largest economy of the world, US, has a public debt to GDP ratio maybe 150 to 150%. The second largest, China, we don't know how much really, quite difficult. I don't know, even the Chinese know exactly how much it is, because it's in a very opaque system wherein local cell governments can raise money. The federal government also, obviously, they definitely raise money. The corporate debt is another issue. Even there is a household debt which is now rising, because it is actually China wants to move towards consumerism. They want to have consumption-led economy, which they initially had investment-led economy. So investment-led economy added debt. Now consumption-led will add debt at the household. So overall debt is a big problem in both first largest economy, second largest and third largest. Japan has 263% public debt to GDP ratio. So in that sense, the world economy in crisis, and the crisis is such that in future you want to kickstart the economy or to make economies work faster. Where is the fiscal space available in the economy, largest economies of the world, and therefore this is going to be another challenge in future. I think Dr. Yasaswy's vision was focusing on this basic aspect of finance as a driver of growth for the world, opportunities for young students, young professionals, and to do that, the understanding of public finance and so-called private finance is very necessary. I don't see any other person than him who had really thought through this in a very, very careful way. And therefore this ICFI group was not formed by him just out of nothing. He had deep understanding about the future growth of the world, the country, the future careers of the millions of people who will be aspiring to be doing something on their own, and therefore he was focusing on that in a very efficient way.